Hi, and welcome to the first installment of 5 installments of the Business Achievement and Success Challenge. Now, I always start off with asking people to drive a stake in the ground, but you would have seen this already if you'd seen my website video, so I'm going to do this very quickly. A stake is knowing where your profit will come from, your sales, who your customers will be, what products and services you will sell to them, and knowing that now and into the future. Now that is what I'm going to cover in this workshop to a degree and over the next 5 modules. And that is my strategic management and leadership coaching. That's the start of it. And remember that you have to have people, manage them, and build relationships. Now, this is what your workbook would look if you download it. That's the first page. So make sure you have that workbook with you as I go through this. Now, you don't have to. You can listen to the video and come back to it and do it. But my suggestion is, take that workbook, work through everything in one go. Don't take more than an hour and a half to 2 hours to do it. I take about that long with my workshop. And then I've got people with a very clear focus. Now the difference between the workshop and this, of course, is I talk back in the workshop. Here, you have to do it yourself. But still, don't think and think and think. Do it. Now that's a screenshot of the workbook if you download it, and it's in very large font because you can read it easily on the screen there. Not this is in large font, the one you can download. Now in this video, I'm going to ask you about step 1. Ask the question, what do I want? Step 2, how will I get it? And step 3, what will I do about it? Those are the 3 things I'm going to look at in this workshop around vision and profits and planning. Now step 1, what do I want? In business, what do we want is, first of all, have a dream or a vision. Now this I can't really tell you what to put there. Now around the business, what are you dreaming about? Where do you want to be 3 to 5 to 7 to 10 years from now? Maybe 2 or 3 years, because if you're in trouble now, your dream will be short. If you're doing well, you may have a longer term horizon. What do you want to achieve? Now, you will see in my screenshot here, on the workbook, I've provided that much space to write this. So you can see, I want you to write this down quickly. Write it down bullet point wise anyway. No one's going to read it. No one's going to mark it. It's for you. And do it quickly. You can always come back and redo it. You can print my workshop book 10 times if you feel like it. I suggest not. Let's go through it once and then do it. The objectives, which is in that workbook, which I state, is set some profitability targets, and most important, some financial results, sales and profit. Now, what market position do you want and what competitive standing? This has to do with customers and products. And then what operating results? What do you want to make every week, every month to achieve your business? Now, I will focus on the first 2 mostly here. Operating results often depend on the type of business. Now, financial targets, again, this is what the workbook looks like. You'll see a sheet like that in your workbook. And I have space for what's going on currently, in 1 year's time, and in the future. So, in the future, it can be 3, 5 years. You can put anything down there. There's no rule about this. Now, I'm not going to use that. That is too small to read. What I suggest you look at is something like this. Let's say you want to make $1 million. Now, some people will say, great, I'll be happy if I do that. Some people say, well, that is nothing. It's not, too small for me. It depends on you and your business. Let's say it's your cost of sales. You're making a gross profit of 600,000. Then your expenses is about 350,000. You're getting a net profit of 250,000. Now most people will say, I'm very happy with that. This is just imaginary. And that's my warning to you. Don't do this on a spreadsheet and get all happy. Anyone can put numbers on a spreadsheet and get all happy about them. And then what cash do I want in the bank? Now, what you do with this is you say, what am I doing currently? But the most important thing is the bit there, which I'm not filling in here. 1 to 5 years. And you can have in your worksheet. But now I suggest you start with net profit. Start with this one here, net profit, right? And then go to the one that says gross profit. and then sales. But maybe some people that I work with in my workshop just jump from net profit and straight into sales. That's fine. You're not supposed to have all the figures if you don't have them. Don't get your accounts out and look at the past. This is not an accounting exercise. We are using maybe accounting terms, but this is a target setting and forward-looking exercise. So do not look at old things. Look at what you want to. This is your stake in the ground, remember. This is what you want. And if you actually stretch it about and dream a bit and put it out there, that's a good idea. So do that. Right? But you could be having a financial situation like this. 500,000, cost of sales still 400,000, you're making 100,000 profit, expenses is 350, you're losing 250,000 a year. Well, and you don't even want to talk about your cash flow. Now, I do not know what situation people are in. If you are in the situation where you are doing that, then you will look at the future, 3 to 5 years maybe, and even longer, because you are well established and it's going well, and you just want to improve a bit further and tighten things and think strategically. But if you're there, your thinking will be, how do I make money now? Where do I get customers now? What do I sell to them now? Now, I'm not going to promise to help with that, but I can clarify some thinking in my workshop around that, and that will help you. Now, the second step is, how will I get it? So once I've made people set targets, what their profits and sales will be, what you have to do now is say to you, how will I get it? Well, you'll get it from two things. Guess what? Products and services, but first customers. So I'm going to look at customers now. And in the workshop, there's a sheet like that. And in the workbook, download the workbook. This sheet is in the workbook. And you can use that to set your targets for the future. And there's two aspects to this. I look at a list of clients, then what's happening right now, and what do you want to happen in the future. Now, the way I do it is this. Have a look at this. Whether you put percentages or dollar values doesn't matter, but you've got to put a target there. Now, if your target in 5 years or 1 year is $1.5 million, put a target there of $3 million. Get it? Double your target from what you've put in your financials. So if your target in 1 year's time is to make 1.5 million or 1 million, or double it. And then put a list of people there where you will get it from. Who will you get this from? And you can either use a percentage or a target. So you put two things in your worksheet. I'm not very concerned with this one, where you're getting it from now. But I am concerned with this one, where you are going to be in the future. What's your targets? Now, why double it? Because there's no way that you can be sure to reach the targets. And the more you put in that pot, the more you have to pick from, the more opportunities you can create, and the more things you can run after and go, and more doors you can knock on. That's what it comes down to. Now, there's the sheet I've just told you about. Now, the next one is what products and services. Now, many people, when I do a workshop, actually ends with customers. They spend a lot of time on who their current customers are, what other customers to add to that, and how that will improve their business, and then looking at current customers and how they could decline, or the threats of competition taking it off them. And a lot of the questions you're going to come, done and dusted. It's done and dusted when you've taken your customers and you've figured out what's going to happen to them. And this might take some investigation, because if you can't answer the questions I've just given you, then maybe you need to research, investigate, try, test, measure, do something. Now, products and services, there's a sheet like that, and it's very much like customers. Setting out what you're going to do now and what's going to happen in the future. So you put a list of products there, what's happening now and then in the future. And let me use this sheet again. I'm saying, what is your target? Put a dollar value there. Again, double the target and list the products you will sell. So you do two things here. You list all the things you will sell and all the things you're selling now. What's going to happen with your sales and products right now? Will it decline? Will it improve? What else can you sell that's going to make money? List them. Now, there's the sheet I just told you about. Now, remember this. when you do customers and products, do not try and do a matrix and match them up in this session. Because what happens, you try and get this wonderful thing that looks like a matrix. Customers, products, and put them into little boxes. And I look at those things and I'm not sure, but it confuses the heck out of me. Now, if you can do it, do it. But really, you want to have two focuses on. Where do I build customers and what do I need to sell? And if you've got those two focuses in business and you improve both those areas, you are likely to improve your whole business. Step 3, and this is the shortest one for me, but the most difficult and longest one for you. And often the coaching revolves around a lot of this. The coaching doesn't always revolve just around customers, it revolves around how to do it. So, and I've said this before in a previous video with people, so you may have seen that. Make sure you have customer service and support. Look after your customers. Then make sure you market and get new ones. Sell to the people who walk into your door in whatever version that is. Make sure you're well organized and have good habits and systems in place, and that you have the right financial system, customer system, and any other systems you need to run your business smoothly. Make sure you lead and you manage well. And then lastly, look at the big picture, where the economy is going, where your industry is going, what's going to happen around you. Now, I've done this very shortly. You can take that workbook and work through it, but I would say work through it in one session. Do not try and be neat, do not try and be fancy, do not try and impress anyone. I'm not going to read it unless you want to give it to me when I ever see you and you want me to discuss it with you. That is the value of the workshop, by the way. It is the discussion of me, of saying, why are you saying those things and how do you know this and why are you not sure about this? That's what I do in my sessions. Make you think outside the box and ask the questions. Why can't you do more? What's the difference here? What's the challenge there? Now, download my Business Achievement and Success Challenge if you haven't done that yet. If you've seen this video in any other way, download it. But let me just tell you what we've done. So far, we've done vision, goals, strategy, planning, and organizing. Done and dusted. Now, can you see that in this session, in the time we have, you probably haven't done that yet. So go in now and do it. And then in a week's time, you will get the second installment, and then the third and the fourth and the fifth. The second one to come is habits, systems, and support, and I will give you some ideas and challenges there. I will then look at creating the better environment, scheduling, and project management, and I'll give you some simple ideas there. And then I will talk about maintaining hope and optimism and happiness and balance. And this can be a very, very valuable thing you can even use with staff. You're welcome to take what I've got and take bits out and use it to the staff, as long as you don't present it as your own and say you got this from this character called Harry Toozle and I want you to look at it. No problem. Maybe just tell me about it, because I'd like to know how things are used. So, final reflective questions is going to be based on the National Institute of Science and Technology's Baldrige program, but it's not their program, it's just questions and a few sub-questions to make us all reflect on what we've done and what else can be thought about. With that, thank you for listening to this first installment. You are going to get the second one within the next week, and I sincerely hope you have enjoyed and found value from this. Now, remember my free workshop. It's one-on-one, it's customized to suit you. So go to my website and get hold of me. The Business Achievement and Success Challenge and the workshop, they're both free. I do it for free because I'm going to take as long to do a sales pitch as I can just well deliver something to you. And that way I don't waste your time. I'm giving you something of benefit. I feel good about it. You get benefit. You feel good about it. And we go away, hopefully, as friends. There's many people I've never shown up as clients, which I keep in contact with, just on the telephone, once, twice a year maybe. So send me a message, send me an email. Thank you very much. And I hope that this has challenged and encouraged you. And please contact me with any feedback you have. I always appreciate feedback and comments and suggestions. I will see you in a week's time with the next installment.